the opportunity to be in your space and to share it with you. And it's always nice to meet students, even if we have to do it this way. So my name is Jennifer Dekker, and I am a librarian at the University of Ottawa. And Megan and I were dropping into your space last winter and thought we would take it up again this year. And Victoria, I think, had mentioned to Megan that some of the students were having a bit of an issue using OMNI, which is one of the main search tools that we offer at the library. So I put together a really short, like max 3 slides sort of thing, because I know everybody's burned down on Zoom and on PowerPoint and everything. So I don't want to take a lot of time doing that. But if you do have questions and if you've had trouble with OMNI, I would love to hear and have conversations with you about that, because that's why I've dropped in to try and help you sort out some of the issues that you might be having with it. Megan, did you want to say anything?
Stop that, Millie, please. Stop, please. Hi, sorry. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, my husband's like noise downstairs. So for those of you who weren't here in sessions the last few weeks while I was here, so Jennifer, like Jennifer said, I've been dropping in, well, last year in person and then here for a virtual session. So we're here if anyone has any questions, library related. Like last week, I think I put the link in with the smoke signals for the movie. So I will let Jennifer take it away.
All right, thanks, Megan. I'm going to share my screen if that's gonna be okay. I don't know, I have the permission to do that? Yeah, okay, excellent. Oh, it says host has disabled participant screen sharing. So I don't know if you can turn that on your end.
I will see if I can do that. I'm just trying to find your name here.
Oh, it's Jennifer Dekker.
Okie dokie. I'm going to currently make you co-host and see if that will do anything.
That should do it. Let me just see if I can. Yes, so I'm going to share my desktop with you. And please, sorry, that's my chat with Megan. Let me explain this image before we go any further. So I've called this little presentation, The Mysteries of OMNI, Searching, Limiting, Locating, and Exploring Useful Features. And I wanted to invoke an image that for me is meaningful. And so I chose this one. My undergraduate work is in religious studies, and I studied iconography, which of course is the study of symbols relating to religious practices. So this is an image from the Hindu tradition, and the name of the deity in front of us is Ganesha. And I love Ganesha. Ganesha has the head of an elephant, but the body of a human. And Ganesha is the god of wisdom. He is invoked at the beginning of any enterprise, but especially literary composition. He is often associated with students and is known as the remover of obstacles. And one of the reasons I love this image too is because OMNI is so multifaceted, has so much depth to it, so many different aspects that we don't always see, that sometimes we might perceive something, but we don't look a little bit closer and see all the different facets of OMNI. So I tried to represent OMNI in just one schemata, and I don't know how well I've done here, but the way I think about OMNI is having 3 major components. The first, of course, is like a search component. So when you go into OMNI, you can choose either to do a basic or an advanced search. But whatever you choose between basic or advanced, you just have to be careful to use meaningful words. And if you do choose a basic search, to use some search operators, and I can demonstrate those in a second. So when you're at the OMNI page at the library, what are you searching through? It's kind of a portal, really, and it's a portal to the things that we have at the library, including books, but also articles in journals and encyclopedias. You're also searching for things like videos, chapters in books, musical scores, maps, images, and that sort of thing. So it's basically a lot of different information. but it's not everything that the library has. It's a good amount, and I always estimate around 75 or 80% of what we have is available through OMNI, but not everything. So I always recommend it as the first starting place, but not the ending place for your research. And then once you do your search, one of the powerful things about OMNI is the limiting of your results. So you can limit by all kinds of different things, but I've listed here the availability of something, whether it's online or in person or in print, I should say, the type of resource that it is, its publication date, the subject, the author, the location, journal title, and language. So the limiting is really the power of OMNI, I think, and it's a way of taking a large set of results and making it much more manageable. And then finally, you have the locating function. So it might seem obvious that you would use a tool like OMNI to locate things, but it's not always easy to locate things with OMNI. And I think that's where a lot of the frustration with OMNI comes in. Right now, because the library is closed, using digital information is going to be the easiest and fastest type of information to get your hands on. But you can still request items in print through curbside demand and through scan on demand. So you just need to use like the bibliographic record, which is the thing that describes the item, to find where the item is located and what format it's in. So I think if I'm just gonna put my dog down 1 second. She doesn't usually sit on my lap, but she wanted to today. So maybe at this point, I'll just stop and ask the people in the room whether they have certain things they might want to look for or certain difficulties that they may have been encountering, and we can do some live demonstration of the tool. I'm going to now switch my screen over to the OMNI screen.
Awesome. Thanchi. My name is Madeline. I'm here on Treaty 7 territory. I do have a question, actually. I'm working on a research paper right now. And there's a finding that I kind of saw through my results. And I'm curious to have articles and looking for articles to back up this point. And what I found was that there's no, from what I did with my search, that there's no articles that I could find that is connecting to teacher burnout and how they're emotionally impacted by taking on reconciliation-based programming / anti-racism / anti-oppression. So I'm just curious of like what I could do to potentially look for articles within it, because within my search I wasn't able to find any. So it could be a potential gap that needs to be filled, or whatever the case, or maybe it's just the way that I'm searching.
I'm guessing that it's not the way you're searching, but that's just a guess, and I'll do the search and sort of cover it a little bit. But also the topic might be one that just hasn't been elaborated yet in the journal literature. Probably there are some things, but I'm not surprised you're not finding a lot, because I find that might be more of a current topic. And whenever we're talking about journal articles, it takes a long time to publish them. It takes a long time to research them. And then you submit them to the journal, and then you get all the feedback, and then you have to resubmit. It can take a year to publish a journal article. So, if we do, so I'm going to just show an example of when I said in my slide about using search operators. Another really good technique is to use the quotation marks around multiple word concepts. So if we consider teacher burnout to be one concept that has 2 words, we would use quotation marks around it like that. And then that way the OMNI doesn't bring back every single time the word teacher comes up, every single time the word burnout comes up, but it brings them back together. And then if we use the word "and" in capital letters, we're telling the search engine we want it to bring back the next concept as well as teacher burnout. So let's just start with your first concept. You were talking about reconciliation. So we can use reconciliation and hope that OMNI understands what we mean, but if not, we'll use limits to try and narrow it down a little bit better. So here I have 27 results. That's sort of, my eye is trained to look exactly there, and maybe your eye is trained to look somewhere else. But I see right away we have 27 results. And before I even kind of like look at the middle part of the screen, I always look to the left to see, okay, is it online? Is it a peer-reviewed journal? What are we looking at here? We've got 20 articles, we've got 5 book chapters, and we've got 2 reviews. The reviews are specifically reviews of books. So whether or not that's interesting to you is your decision. We have publication dates from 1988 to 2018. So already I'm starting to think, okay, well, some of these things might not be exactly relevant to what you're looking at, but we can start looking at the results and see what sorts of things are being brought back. So if we even look at the first one, because so OMNI automatically defaults to a relevance searching, and relevance really just means how many terms match exactly. It's not able to tell what the article's about. It can only match terms. So that's why that one came up first, because the highest number of terms were matched. So this is in a journal of writing and creative practice. That's the name of the journal. And the subjects are colonialism, education, mental illness, and on. And then there's a description here. I'm not seeing anything about burnout personally, but then again, I haven't looked at the full article. So, you know how to access it. You just click there and you get it. So in terms of articles, really what you would just do is click on the 20 articles and try and use those. Now, of course, if you don't, so sometimes it's challenging because you might only find one thing that's really good. But in that case, use that article and use the bibliography in it to find all the material that the author used to write their article, because then you often find a nice circular way of finding other information where you don't have to rely on a tool like OMNI or any other tool really, because you've got already a list of resources that you're looking at. I would only recommend that though for recent articles. And I'm looking at the second one here, and that's from 1994. So it's pretty old. You can definitely sort by date instead. So if you want the newest information, sort by date on the left-hand side. Are you seeing that? Yeah. Yeah, okay, so if we do that, and then that way I'm thinking it might be a little bit more relevant. Now again, I'm seeing some things that might look good, but maybe not great. You could always go into subject here and make sure that we're looking at teachers, for example, probably is a good subject. So the first one here is a whole school approach to promote youth mental health, a call for healing teachers, living out a calling to teach. So there might be something here that works a little bit better. But in the end, I think probably OMNI is not probably going to be the best tool for you. Actually, I think using one of the teacher education databases might be better. But this is how I would go about finding an article on your topic with OMNI. Were there any issues with that, or did you want to respond at all?
No, it sounds great. It was just kind of, relative to what I couldn't find either. So, it's just a journey. So it's great,
Yes.
just going through it. But yeah, merci, I appreciate it.
Oh, it absolutely is a journey. I'm glad you bring up that word, because there's no real, we can talk about strategies for finding research, and sure, you can bring a strategy to it, but oftentimes you have to go back and readjust your strategy and try new things and different things that you might not have thought in the beginning. And this is just an example. So, you could even change it to teacher. You could do teacher or educator. There's all sorts of things that you might do to make that search different and bring you back more results as well. Gonna go back to Zoom here. Oh yeah, so let me switch back. Okay, so did anyone else have anything they might want to share in terms of difficulties or questions they might have about OMNI before I move on? Okay, so I will just go forward. There's like one last slide really, and it's just to mention some of the useful features in OMNI. So one of the, so we transitioned to OMNI about a year ago, or just over a year ago. And prior to that time, when you searched the library catalog or the library portal to resources, you were only searching University of Ottawa. But one of the features that OMNI brings to us is the ability to search across 16 different libraries. So that sometimes makes your search larger as well, and brings you back things from libraries that we would have interlibrary loan agreements with, and that in the digital environment you can get very quickly. So maybe I will just show you how that works as well. So just using the same example that we were using before. Let's do teacher burnout and reconciliation, and I'll just redo the search. So remember, we're at 27 results, but if we sign in here, and you need to have your UO access ID, so it's just your UO zone. Then you probably have multi-factor authentication, so you have to go through a couple of steps here. So now that I add under here, U Ottawa plus OMNI libraries, I would expect that the results would get a little bit more than 27, but in this case, it only gets 28 results. So the bigger the search or the broader the search, of course, you'll get more things back. If we don't have it at the University of Ottawa, it will give you, this one we do have, I can't tell which one we don't have to show you, but it'll give you the option to request it through interlibrary loan or through Racer. Wondering where, I'm not really sure how you would identify the one that's not at University of Ottawa actually to show you that. But let's say, I believe these are all available online, so it's hard to show you, but yeah, let's go here. If we didn't have it, you would have a little link right about here that says get it. And then you would click there, and then it would automatically go through the steps for an interlibrary loan. Just going to switch back to this for a quick second. Yeah, so you can also send lists of articles and books to yourself or your research partners, which I really quite like. So on the weekend, I was just helping, my daughter's also a university student at University of Ottawa, and I was helping her to locate some articles for her research. And what's really nice is you can just use this little pin here and, you know, pin a couple of things and then go into your list. Sorry, my list is. Oh, I was doing this so easily before. I think we just go up, we go. In. All right, maybe we have to just select them again. Create a list like that, and then you click on this little 3-dot thingy, and then you can just email it to yourself, and then they come up, and you've got a list right there. So that's quite kind of a neat feature. And then the last feature I think is kind of cool as well, which I use a lot when students ask me for help, is you go into the record, and if you just want to cite it, it's so easy now to just click on citation, choose your style. I use Chicago a lot, and then just copy it to the clipboard, and you can either, you know, insert it into your bibliography, or you can send it to your colleague or your research partner, and it's a nice, complete and well done citation as well. So that's important, of course, in academic integrity. So that's really all I had to say about OMNI today. I wanted to keep it short, but let you know that there's lots of help for you. I am actually the librarian who works with Indigenous research and studies, as well as, excuse me, who else finds Zoom kind of hard to use sometimes. I work with like history and a bunch of different departments in the arts. So I may very well be the librarian who's assigned to your department, but if not, there's lots of librarians who can help you, and we can help you identify. Megan and I can help you identify others who can help you. So that's everything.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. We are still viewing your screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna, take it off, sorry.
Um,
Hold on, how do I stop share? All right, here we go, thank you.
There we go. Thank you again so much. I did not, I'm sure I was aware of at some point in time that you were our like the Indigenous assigned librarian, but I've also like, it always falls out of my mind with whatever that there are like assigned like resource staff out there to help Indigenous students specifically, or at least within the Institute. So that's really, really exciting. And we're going to make sure to add that so that everybody knows and it doesn't fall out of their brains like it does so often for myself. I'm gonna also put the video on so you're not looking at a black screen. And if that's everything for the presentation, I'm gonna stop recording and then we can continue on with our informal part of the Soup and Bannock. So again, thank you so much, Jennifer, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much.